Hello, I'm here to do my obligatory first year of game development YouTube video, because what else am I going to do? Before documenting the games I made onto YouTube, I started to attempt a 2D, top-down, open world roguelike. Yeah, it's a lot. And to top it all off, I had only been using Godot for about a month at this point. Definitely wasn't the smartest move. So when making this game, I had really bad procedural generation, completely broken code, and absolutely no understanding of how Godot's scene tree works. Meaning, with all of this together, me making switching weapons did not work at all, so weapons would just float when trying to be switched. And I don't know how with this I thought I could make an open world game. Still couldn't now. And to top this all off, the core game mechanic was bad. However, I am still proud of this game, with it being my first attempt at a full game. High Stakes is the next game that I made. This game is a very simple and basic roguelike with the theme of a casino. This game is also the first game that I was able to release, as I kind of had to, as it was made for college. With it, I also had to market it and make a website for it, so that's why this channel was started. However, half of this channel already covers this game. However, they are quite bad and kind of boring, but they do show off the game better than I could in just a short segment. So if you want me to make a video detailing the development of the game, but more concise, interesting, and with voice, let me know in the comments. Also, this is the mean mushroom, he is my child. This is the Twilight Zone. It is a simple top-down tower defense game that I started to make in order to learn Godot 4. I had made an overly complicated wave spawning system, however it worked effectively once it was done, and I think the HUD actually looks pretty good in this game, and the design and theming was very good as well. And I think this is when I started to actually get pretty decent at art. Also, the Twilight Zone theming was chosen by my girlfriend and not me, as I'd just made a playable submarine and had no idea where to go with there. Planning is not my strong suit, and I need to get better. This is Reduce, Reuse, Reanimate, and is the game I developed with 3 of my friends for a college game jam. The theme was sustainability, so I went with the idea of recycling enemies and turning them into allies, and I was in charge of all coding and all in-engine work. And the game turned out well. However, we were lacking in some important aspects like polish. However, we did manage to win the game mechanics category, and that is cool. This game is a small-scale Metroidvania that I attempted. To show you how small the scale was, here is a map I created of the game world. So I stuck to that small-scale part. I am so bad at scope creep. This game went quite smoothly throughout most of the development, apart from a couple of times where I had no idea where I wanted the direction to go, especially near the start. However, I couldn't just get the weapon feeling right throughout most of it, and at one point I made the worst weapon switching mechanic of all time and killed my motivation for the game. Along with that, it also just wasn't fun and basically just a walking simulator with a couple of jumps and enemies. And also a cool rat boss fight. Transition. Ooh, we don't talk about this one. God's Up is the big project game that I am supposed to be developing at the moment. It is a roguelike game where you go down into caves to kill enemies, get upgrades, and progress to the bottom of it. It has many different characters, and I had made a lot of progress on it. However, at this point, I am taking a break from it, and you can see more about the game from the many videos I have made. Also, the mean mushroom is back. This is Dino Balling, a small arcade-style game that I made within just 3 days. It is about a dinosaur stabbing chickens and throwing them into goals, like a normal game's theme is. This game was pretty good, and it taught me a lot about polish, and surprisingly the first game I included sound effects in. I also learned that my weakest part of game development is when I try to make title screens and death screens, because I can't do big art. We're finally at the most recent game I made. This one is Cowboy Crash, a small speedrunning platforming game where you run through the train as a sheriff duck. You try to escape it before the train crashes into a rock, causing a devastating crash, killing everyone in the train. This game was made in 7 days for a game jam that I organised between my classmates and I, and it is the best planning I have ever done for a game, with all of it going exactly as I had hoped. It also has cute art and a nice train ambience sound. In the future, I would eventually like to make a game and release it on Steam. However, for that, I would need to get a game idea good enough to allow me to keep motivation for months, maybe years worth of work on it. I would also like to improve my skills a lot more, as I want to release a good game on Steam. And in regards to Gods Up, I think if I return to the project, I will be restarting it with a greatly reduced scope and a more streamlined and less generic idea. And also at the moment I'm working on a smaller project which will get shown to you in future videos, so subscribe to see that. I might also dabble a little bit in Unreal Engine, although a little reluctantly. To conclude, I make game sometimes. Have a good day.